Hello guys and welcome to another analysis. This time I will talk about Thor, the God of Thunder. Let's get into it. Thor was released on May 6, 2011 in 3,955 cinemas and ran a total of 112 days until the last performance on August 25, 2011. The film was produced by Disney with a budget of $150 million and received an PG-13 rating. It started its run with an opening weekend of $65.7 million and finished its box office performance with roughly $181 million in the USA and Canada. In addition to that, Thor earned $268 million in overseas markets for a final worldwide total of $449.3 million. Movies like Iron Man, Captain America, The First Avenger, Hulk and The First Thor had a huge job to accomplish. They needed to get the Avengers universe to a good start, and for that to happen, every single one of these movies needed to perform good. While Hulk was pretty much a financial fail back in 2008, Iron Man and Iron Man 2 proved to be great successes at the domestic and foreign box office, so Thor really needed to perform quite good. While Captain America is a far more safe hero to go with when it comes to catching a big audience, Thor is way more difficult, maybe even the most difficult out of the whole Avengers cinematic universe. To make a movie about the old Nordic god of thunder is just something that most people out of the domestic market are not that hyped about. This should not say that the comic is unknown or unliked in any way. I just want to say that the overall interest in the character Thor is not that outstanding. Unfortunately for Thor, when it had its rollout in most of its overseas markets, it was not the most talked about movie. Fast 5 started its run in some overseas markets simultaneously and grossed way more impressive numbers. So the industry and most casual people were talking about Fast 5 instead of Thor. Nevertheless, Thor opened with an opening day gross of $25.5 million. With that, Thor had the third highest first day gross yet for the opening of a Marvel movie franchise, behind Iron Man and Spider-Man. And it's really not a bad thing to land behind those two giants. After another 2 days, Thor grossed a total of $65.7 million over its 3-day opening weekend. A pretty solid start for a superhero like Thor, and definitely a good sign for Marvel that this superhero could become a good franchise. Thor went on to perform pretty unusual for a comic book film. Normally every single superhero movie has a huge drop of over 50% on the second weekend. Those movies are always so heavily front-loaded that the huge drop on the second weekend is absolutely not noteworthy anymore today. Thor just dropped 47.2% on the second weekend, an incredible hold. Even more incredible given the fact that Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides premiered on that weekend with slightly over $90 million. Unfortunately, Thor dropped over 55% on the third weekend, when The Hangover Part 2 and Kung Fu Panda Part 2 were released. In the following weeks, Thor had some good holds, but also 3 which were way over 50%. When it comes to drops, Thor is really just kind of a unicorn. So what can I say in conclusion about Thor? The movie did very solid business all over the world, that's out of the question. The $268 million overseas total is a very nice feat for the God of Thunder, just grossing $43 million less in overseas markets than Iron Man 2 with the first installment out of a superhero franchise is definitely something to be proud about. While the $65.7 million opening weekend is not outstanding, it is also not bad. And while the 112 days the movie spent in cinemas is really not that much, the multiplier of 2.75 is actually pretty nice and goes right in hand with the multiplier of acclaimed comic book movies like Captain America: The Winter Soldier. While it's not by much, I also have to note that it's a good achievement for Thor that it outgrossed the first Captain America domestically and on the opening weekend. It's a sad thing that Thor outgrossed Captain America: The First Avenger on the overseas front, but that Cap was beaten in the domestic market by Thor was quite unexpected for me back in 2011. All in all, I will rate Thor with the grade B. The next video will be an analysis on Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, or a prediction about Jason Bourne or Thor Ragnarok. Thanks for watching this video guys, I really hope you liked it. If so, leave a like and let me know in the comments what you think about the first Thor. Click on the left video to see a prediction about Assassin's Creed, the bottom one will lead you to a prediction on Doctor Strange, and the right one will show you the possible outcome of Star Trek Beyond. See you soon, bye bye.